Hi, I'm Bernadeta. I'm English literature student in Universitas Bina Sarana Informatika. This is listening assignment. Part 1. This audio is about American culture. Which culture do you belong to? I was born and rose in America, and my culture was shapes. Is that a multicultural society? Yes, it is. My culture is diverse, make the customs and tradition very precise and dignity. How long how long has your country been practicing those customs? Well, it has a long history around 10,000 years ago. What custom do you like the most? I like practicing dining etiquette that would make me American whenever I travel to other countries. What are traditional costumes of men and women in your country? Cowboys hat and boots are American style, but nowadays jeans and t-shirts are more preferable. Are you comfortable with the tradition and costumes of your culture? Of course, I was born with it. How do people greet each other? Well, it depends on the situation. Informal communication people just say hi. Have you ever felt drawn to another land? Yes, I am interested to Indian culture. I wish I can get there someday to attend the typical Indian wedding. Thank you. Hi, I'm Bernadeta. I'm English literature student in Universitas Bina Sarana Informatika. This is listening assignment. Part 2. This audio is about Alberto's new neighbors. One day, Alberto took one look at his new neighbors and knew that his life was going to get more difficult. He watched them arrive in their big noisy car and watched them get out. There they were, two of them as big and as noisy as their car. They are also smelly and stupid. He thought it's terrible and how he was going to put up with them. He went to tell Mimi. Mimi was the friend he lived with. He asked whether she saw the new neighbors, but she didn't see them and asked Alberto who they are. They are two. They didn't like one of them, the big, noisy, stupid, and smelly one. Mimi thought it's awful, and they tried to ignore their new neighbors. When the neighbors went out for a walk, Alberto and Mimi didn't say hello to them. When the neighbors were in their garden, Alberto and Mimi went inside. This was okay for a few days, but perhaps inevitably things didn't stay this way. One day, Alberto woke up from his sleep to find one of neighbors in his garden. She shouted to Mimi and told her that one of their neighbors was in their garden. They decided to call in their staff to get rid of him immediately. 2 minutes later, Alberto and Mimi's head of staff was out in the garden trying to get rid of the unwelcome neighbor. The neighbor didn't say anything, but gave Alberto and Mimi's head of staff a dirty look. They Then he went back into his garden. Alberto and Mimi felt better, and then asked their head of staff to prepare their lunch. The next few days, Alberto and Mimi often found one or both of their new neighbors walking around their own garden. It was terrible to show how they felt. Alberto and Mimi went into their neighbor's garden at night. When the neighbors were inside, and broke all the flowers. The next morning, one of the neighbors came to talk to Alberto. Alberto ignored him, but he continued talking. He asked Alberto whether Alberto came into his garden and broke all the flowers. Alberto didn't say anything but gave his neighbor a dirty look. He thought he was in trouble because they would think he did it. Alberto asked him who they were. The neighbor said his owner. Alberto was surprised his neighbor had owner while they had stuff. Alberto went to tell Mimi that the neighbors didn't have stuff but owners. Mimi wasn't surprised. Their condition noisy, smelly, and stupid explained it. They would make them have stuff. The next day, Alberto and Mimi were actually very friendly with their new neighbors. They tried to explain how to make their owners become stuff. It's very easy. Alberto explained that the house was their house, not the owner's house. Then Mimi said they had to clean all the time. The owners had to give them food whenever they want. They asked the neighbors to sit on the newspaper and sleep mats on the owner's bed. Finally, they thought not bark but meow. But it was not good. The neighbors didn't understand. After a week, they gave up because they thought the neighbors would never understand that dogs have owners and cats have stuff. Thank you. Hi, I'm Bernadeta. I'm English literature student in Universitas Bina Sarana, Informatika. This is listening assignment. Part 3. This audio is about enjoying the zoo. Now, I want to answer the question. What did the boy like best about the zoo? The boy liked porcupines. Number 2. What did the elephant do at the zoo? The elephant threw dirt on them. Number 3. What can we infer about the bird show? The one naughty bird flew around and the man couldn't handle it. Number 4. Where did the boy see the butterflies? The boy saw the butterflies inside the building that made of glass. Now I want to retell. One night, a father asked Mickey, his son, to went to bed because it had already been dark outside. Before he slept, they talked about zoo. They were fun visit zoo and Mickey liked the bass, porcupines, They were big porcupines. Mickey also liked giraffe. There were two giraffes that were taller than his father. They saw an elephant. He was eating something. The elephant threw dirty on them. He did it with his trunk. Mickey fed some white ducks. They also saw birds, so all birds flew around, and there was one naughty bird that couldn't be handled by the man. They saw the butterflies inside building that made of glass. The butterflies couldn't fly out of the glass because there was air coming down. After they talked about zoo, the father asked his son to sleep. Thank you.